2023 CR 0939, State of Texas versus Michael Grant Douglas. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garrett, Your Honor.
Defense.
Joseph Lassen, good afternoon, or good morning still.
Are you Mr. Douglas?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Douglas, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? All right. Did you understand you're charged with the offense of felon in possession of a firearm as a third-degree felony?
Yes, ma'am.
Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, ma'am.
We'll find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
According to plea, punishments be assessed at 6 years in the prison. There's a $500 fine. No application for deferred adjudication. State recommends community supervision, and they will take in consideration JN 2099230. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. State is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 6 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation, 150 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. State exhibit number 1 with all of its attachments.
All right, they're not in.
Is there shit in the waiting area?
No, there's,
That's gonna be locked off.
all right, there's nobody in the waiting area.
That's what Caroline just told me to put out.
Julia S is in the Zoom with them. Okay,
State exhibit number 1 with all of its attachments, Your Honor.
any objections?
No, Your Honor.
All right, did you get all of that on the record, the side chatter? We wanted that on the record. I'm just joking. All right, Mr. State, you may continue to confer.
Oh, thank you.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, this was an unfortunate incident in which he was being followed by his wife in his wife's car, and the firearm was in a bag in the trunk, unaware from my client. That's the reason why he is pleading guilty today, so that he can put this past him and move forward. He's working and he's learned a lot since this incident that is.
Wait a minute, you're saying that he was being followed by his wife?
His wife was in a separate car. It's in the report, Your Honor.
Okay,
She was following him, and he was driving, and then he got stopped by the police for running a red light. And he's working, and he is really learned from his first incident.
all right, he didn't learn from his prison time because we're here.
Yes, Your Honor.
And it
That's
seems like everything with him happens in January. Maybe you should spend the entire month of January inside your house.
No, ma'am. I was going through it with my wife. The bag is actually the guy she was seeing.
Well, I mean, it says he threw it out the car.
No,
I mean, they're drug paraphernalia. That's what
Oh,
it
yes.
says, was thrown out
the
of the
drug
car.
paraphernalia, the firearm
Yes.
was in the trunk of the car.
Yeah.
Unbeknownst to my client, he didn't know that it was in the trunk of the car. It was his wife's car.
Oh. So you want a jury trial?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Positive for marijuana. That's it.
Right, why are you using drugs?
I cut trees down and it just relaxes me after a day of work. It's
When's
more
the-
medicinal than social. I'm not out smoking weed with everybody.
When's the last time you used?
Last night,
Okay, why would you use marijuana when you know you're coming to court the next day? That's not somebody who's made changes, counsel.
I understand.
You're gonna have to start making better decisions, otherwise you're going to prison.
I understand that completely.
All right. And how much time did you do last time you went to prison?
I did 10.
Was that a fun time?
No, I'm not trying to go back ever. The gun, it didn't belong to me. It was her guy
What?
she was seeing, and I was trying to get my car back. The car that she owns. We're married.
What do you want a jury trial? Again, that's what I asked you. All right, so are you still with your wife?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Your Honor, they've worked out a lot of their issues and they have reconciled.
I moved to another state. We went through a lot.
What state
North Carolina,
and which county?
Robinson.
All right, here's the thing about relationships. This is me giving you some advice. If you decided to forgive someone for their indiscretions, you can't bring it up during arguments.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you all have not worked through that, it's just sitting in the corner waiting to come out whenever it comes out.
Now, we're in counseling and everything. We legitimately trying to move past it. We have moved past it. It's just this hold up on this case that I have in front of me.
All right, do you all have any children?
I have a child that doesn't belong to me, that's hers,
All right, how old is the child?
13.
And that's the only child you have?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, what is your employment? What do you do?
I cut down trees. I'm an arborist. I do subcontract work for Cleanscapes right now. I'm working for Andy's Landscape, but I also do work for MTX. I have a pretty good name in the landscaping field out there in San Antonio.
So what's the problem with magnolia trees when they're just like not blooming?
Magnolia trees that won't bloom.
Yeah.
Probably need to put a little coffee in there, get a little fertilizer. They could be sick.
All right. And if they're sick, what are they usually?
I stop by the apartment, I cut them down.
Oh,
Tear
so
them
you
up,
go out and you
yeah.
kill trees?
Yes. I can identify a few, areas, but
Okay.
I knock them down.
All right. This is what the court is going to. So you actually live in North Carolina right now?
No, I'm a Texas resident.
Okay, well, what are you saying you all are in North Carolina now?
We went through a whole separation, me and my wife did, through this whole ordeal. I left Texas. We went through counseling, I come back,
Oh, so now you're back in Texas.
yes, I'm a resident of Texas. It was just a temporarily.
All right, the court will sentence you to 6 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 5 years. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. I'm going to want him tested for levels, and we can do a MIC evaluation. Take in consideration taking consideration JN 2099230. 150 hours community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes with Triple P. Once he's completed that, the community service hours will be satisfied. Proof of employment within 15 days. There should be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Field visits 1 time per month for 3 months. If there are no issues, probation, you can continue field visits however you deem necessary. There's a $500 fine that will be probated. Probation, is there anything else? All right, is there anything else you need from me?
No, ma'am.
All right, and probation, when he does his first UA, if he's positive for anything other than marijuana, we'll do a TAP evaluation. And if the TAP is requesting intensive outpatient treatment, we'll start with outpatient treatment. If they're requesting inpatient treatment, we'll start with intensive outpatient treatment. Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
Some freedom.
Okay. All right, we can go off the record. You're gonna have to do better. Good luck to you. I hope your relationship works out.
It will.
Okay, thank you. All right, where's Michael Douglas? Okay. Are you all ready to proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, could I have a file stamp for a motion to revoke, please? Court is calling 2023 CR 0939 State versus Michael Grant Douglas Jr. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
For the
I'd like to get up for
defense?
Mr. Douglas.
And are you Mr. Douglas? Did you review the document entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision and State's Motion to Supplement Pending Motion to Revoke Probation with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes,
Are you the same Michael Grant Douglas Jr. who's placed on community supervision and cause number 2023 CR 0939 for the offense of felon in possession of a firearm on April 24, 2023 for a term of 5 years? Is that you? State?
The supplement of one, Your Honor, on violating condition number 4 in Bear County, Texas, the defendant Michael Grant Douglas Jr. who then there failed to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of December 2023, January, February, March, April, May, June, July of 2024. Violates condition number 3.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
Violating condition, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No objections, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you to 6 years in prison and up to a $500 fine? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4?
Yes.
Court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is, Your Honor.
Yes.
It has revoked the individual officer's probation, reformed the underlying sentence of 6 years to 3 years of Texas Department of Corrections.
All right, is that the proposed agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
yes, ma'am.
Probation?
Yes, sir.
Are you in agreement with revocation?
Yes, sir.
And has he done anything since he's been on probation?
Judge, we did parents classes. We did provide employment, DNA sample, and we made payments in the amount of $1,164.
All right, so what was outstanding for him on his probation?
Oh, and I'm sorry, I believe because he completed his parenting classes, you waived his community service hours, which were $150. Judge, there weren't any classes that were still outstanding. The total balance on the account is $2,803.
All right, do you want to raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Michael Grant Douglas Jr.
All right, what happened? Why were you not doing well on probation? Why were you not reporting?
My past came to get me, I had a assault case that my probation officer told me about. And I just thought that I kept reporting, she was gonna lock me up. So I stopped reporting. And then when I got my lawyer, I spoke to Juan, he said, because it was prior to my probation, that I really just messed myself up. I have no reason why I couldn't comply except for that. It just was a bad decision that I made.
You know, I don't know why people think they can run for their problems. If you address your problems head on, all you have to do is pick up the phone. I tell everybody who comes in here, if there's an issue with probation and you're talking to them and you feel like they're not addressing it, you can always come in here. And if you would have called an attorney, they would have told you when you're placed on probation, whatever happened before doesn't necessarily mean that a motion to revoke is going to be filed. Any objection to the court reviewing the court summary?
No, Your Honor.
All right,
And
so,
Judge- And Judge,
yes.
Michael's credit, even though he was not reporting throughout all this time, he's making his payments that were due online.
Okay. All right, this court is going to do. Court will find violation of condition number 4 true, revoke, sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because it's plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right, we can go off the record. Well, other than not reporting and running from your problems, you did very well on probation. I hope you've learned. You can't run from problems. They still gonna be there when you stop running. All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor. May we be excused?
Yes.
Thank you.